Hey guys, it's Leesh, and welcome to another episode of Car Confessions. Guys, it is Wednesday, November 5th, here in New York City. I am so excited to the point where it's just like, I think my excitement doesn't sound as exciting as it was last night. I am just elated that Mamdani is going to be our next mayor here in New York City. And I knew it was gonna, after the primary, I was like, oh, this is what it is. Like, he's going to be our mayor, right? Um, but, stranger things have happened in this life when it comes to politics and elections and all this stuff. Even though it felt real secure, you still, it was still a thing like, let me see. But as time has gone on and the campaign has been, or was pretty strong, I just had a really good feeling about his chances of being the mayor of New York City. And listen, last night proved it all. It was just so beautiful to witness a Muslim man, an East Asian Muslim man, not East Asian, I'm a South Asian, hello Alicia, Muslim man running New York City. Like, this is beautiful on so many levels, and it's been a long time coming, right? Like, this is something that we shouldn't be like, oh, the first this, the first that. He is the 100th mayor of this city, and he's the first Muslim, right? Like, that's wild to me. And the first South Asian, like, it's crazy that we are still, this is still a thing where we're still, calling out the first this, the first that. But at the same time, it's a cool thing because it's like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. I feel like now, knowing, now that we know that Zoran is going to be our next mayor, I think it's just going to require us to really start looking at, how we see each other as humans in this whole scheme of, like, society, right? Because for so long, it's just been, of course, white men. White men are going to run whatever, right? Whether it be a mayorship, being a governor, president, whatever. That's always kind of like been the conditioning, right? That we have been so used to. And so now, this completely different way of thinking is something that has to start. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there are so many people, regardless of, you know, their political affiliations, there's still work that has to be done in terms of the human psyche and how we see each other. Because even down to like Barack Obama, right? If you're thinking about him and his presidency and all that stuff, you think about every little thing that he did was, breaking news or the worst thing ever, or, and there weren't enough folks behind him and defending him in the way of, you know, saying, like, basically just putting it out there like, listen, this is our president. This is who we supported, enough with all the rhetoric, right? I pray, excuse me, I pray that, folks will do that, as opposed to have, voted for him and not stand on business and be like, yeah, that's my mayor. Keep talking crazy, and it's gonna be you and me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that type of energy, and we need folks to know that that's the type of energy we have behind our mayor, especially if he's doing the things right. He's making things better in this city. He's standing up for the people of New York City, right? If he's doing his job, the least we can do is, support him, stand behind him, and defend in the event that folks get crazy. Because here's the thing, for the longest time, when you think about, or at least I'll say when I think about it, I don't want to project my thoughts and feelings and my experiences on anyone else, but when I think about Muslims in general, and I'm thinking about like when I was younger, growing up in Evansville, Indiana, when you thought about Muslims, like, at least for me, instantly things went back to you know, ISIS, and the different wars that we fought over in the Middle East, and you think about all these terrorist based things, right? Even down to when I moved here, because I mean, I was here during 9/11, and that was an issue. How we thought and felt about Muslims because of what the society has conditioned us to believe. And now that we're in a new way of living and being, because it was inevitable, right? Like, things had to change regardless in terms of how this country is being governed, how we operate as humans. Like, everything had to be changed. Like, the change was inevitable. But we have to also change this up here, our minds. Because it's one thing to pass laws and bills and put certain folks in office, but if you're not doing it in a way that's going to set folks up for success, what is the point? You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I feel like it's so important for us. Sorry, y'all, this New York City driving. Y'all know how it is. But yeah, I think it's so important for us to, really show that support that is necessary at this time. Because when it comes to the first of whatever, there's a slew of people that are on the other side of that are pissed that this first Muslim, this first South Asian individual is running the greatest city in the United States of America. Dare I say the world? You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be this, roses and, butterflies throughout this whole process. And I know that, Zoran is probably very well aware of that as well. He would be naive to think otherwise. And the way he has carried himself during this whole campaign and election has proven just that. It's like, I can still be kind, but you're not going to run over me. That's what you're not about to do. I'm going to treat you with respect, and I expect that as well. But I'm not going to sit here and take no bullshit because I present like a nice person. Hell no. Hell no. And I love that. It's like, I can still be kind. I don't need to be a douchewad to prove that I have power. I don't need to be some, raging lunatic like Donald Trump to prove that I can, govern, a city or a country or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that needs to be kind of like the standard in many ways, right? It's like, kindness goes a long way, because what that also does is you're showing your kindness, you're showing that you are looking out for the greater good. And by you also setting those boundaries and letting people know what time it is, it's like, you are the truth. Like, you're authentic in how you operate and how you do things. You're not going to be pushed over, you're not going to be bamboozled. And you're also going to be the person that the people need, which is so important. It's so important. And we need to get back to that type of, governing, where folks that are in government are looking out for the people who put them in those positions. We have been so conditioned for so long to be accustomed to politicians being crooked, being trifling, all that, and we just accept it. Now is the time for us to, hold I'm going to say it now, Mayor Mamdani accountable for everything, in terms of his promises, in terms of, freezing the rent, child care being free. What else? And I'm blanking right now because I'm just like, so many things are going in my head. But all the promises that he presented and proposed during his campaign, you need to stand on business, Mamdani. And I pray that he does just that. And I feel like he will do that. And I'm just so excited for this time for us as New Yorkers to really see that this city, even though it's one of the, it's the great, I feel like, and I'm just biased because I love New York. New York is the greatest city in the world. It is the greatest city in the world, hands down. So many different types of people. I mean, the things, if you want to talk about like the aesthetics in terms of like all the pleasantries and, is it, beautiful in the eyes of someone coming straight from the suburbs? Hell no. This place is trash. It's not the cleanest place in the world. I'm just going to keep it 1,000. Yeah, I got acid reflux. I'm chewing on this little Tom thing. Forgive me. But anyway, yeah, I mean, no, New York is not the cleanest. But you have to remember how many people, we have tons of people here. You know what I'm saying? And with a high trafficked area, there's only so much that's going to be happening. Subways, they need some help. I actually, let me shut up. I don't even know because I've not been on the subway in a while. But the last time I was on there, I was like, child, this is crazy town. And at the same time, I still love the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what this is all about. The hope is that Mamdani can even change those things. Hopefully, things going to be a bit more clean. Who knows, right? But you don't move to New York City for the aesthetic in terms of like, well, you do for the aesthetic, but you're not moving here for some type of picket fence experience. That's what it is. And I feel like a lot of people who have moved here thought they could bring their picket fence ways to New York, and it's been working for a while. A few of these folks from the suburbs have rolled their ass up in New York and have really tried to gentrify this city in a way that is picturesque and like cookie cutter, and it's like, no, New York is raw. New York is it. These are real, some of the realest people you'll ever meet in your life, right? Folks that are not putting on airs. They are who they are. They're not going to fake the funk. All this, Southern Belle type of mentality, passive aggressive. No, none of that's happening here. What do you want? What do you need? Don't come in my face talking crazy because I don't have time. That's another thing. We don't have time here. Like, we're constantly moving, going. It's like, listen, what do you need? Say it. If I can do it, great. If I can't, well, great. There's no, trying to get up all of my feelings about whatever. This is just how New Yorkers, for the most part, are, right? Everyday New Yorkers. I'm not talking about like these, entitled folks that are just ridiculous with how they think and feel. But for the everyday New Yorker, we have shit to do. And the thing is, living in a city like this, we need things to be a bit more accessible and affordable because we're constantly on the go, you know? And it's like, why can't we have something that is not as like wild and crazy? Affordable living, that'd be great. And like I said, like, having decent childcare is insane. The prices, it's insane, even down to the affordability of getting around the city. you know it's wild. It's like, create affordability in a place where the majority of the people that live here, we're not rich, but we're making it work because we love this city. We love, the good, the bad, the ugly. We love New York City. And it's like, for the folks that really love the city and want to see it, you know, go in places that we never could imagine, do right by us. Do right by us and make it so. Because we pay through the roof for so much shit here. Why not? Why not allow us to truly enjoy the city? I can't tell you the last time I went and saw a Broadway show. I would love to go and support the theater, like I used to and all that. But by the time you pay for rent and all the other bills and gas and all, it's like, where is the extra money to do those things? Now, at one point, I was able to do those things. Now it's really difficult. And so this hope that I have inside me now, I am so I'm just elated, and I feel like so many people feel like that here in the city. The energy, I was talking about this yesterday. The energy here is so different. It feels so much lighter here. I feel like people are just kind of like, thank you for this new way of possibly living and being. We're used to the crooked folks here in New York playing games with us and all this, which is why many New Yorkers are not about bullshit. Because it's like, you know what? I am tired of dealing with all this shit. We're so used to it. And it's like, now that we have something good, allow that to be. Allow that to be, a part of how we live and operate in New York City. It shouldn't be where we're constantly on the struggle bus. But I will say, though, me living in New York City has taught me so much. I've learned so much. I have so many skills from living in New York City. This city has taught me how to survive. And I'm pretty sure so many people can say the same. This city will break you if you let it, and it'll also teach you how to rebuild yourself as well. It's not for the weak. This place is not for the weak. And I love that about New York too, because it's like, there's no coddling here. It's like either you're gonna figure it out or you're not. Will there be people along the way to help? Of course, there's always people there to kind of like guide you. But at the same time, they're gonna let you know, look, like I'm gonna show you how to do these things, but I'm gonna need you to figure it out. Like I'm not gonna be here holding your hand 24/7. I'm not a micromanager. I'm not, you know, creating some type of codependent relationship. Like no, you here are the tools, go forth. And I love that. I love that about New York. Um, yeah, there's just no place on earth like this place. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy for the people of New York. We deserve this. We deserve this. I've been in New York on and off since 1998, and this city has changed so much. A lot of things have been made quote unquote beautiful, right? But it's been in many ways to the detriment of the everyday New Yorker. I mean, if you're not making like $200,000, you can't live comfortably here in this city. And I'm being serious. Folks making $100,000, I mean, you can make it work to an extent, but you're probably gonna need a roommate. I'm just being honest, right? But for folks who live in rent stabilized housing, to have that rent like frozen or to cap it, or you're not constantly, your rent's not constantly being hiked to crazy amounts. I mean, that is going to be a game changer for so many people. It's a blessing. Like I said before, I don't understand how we have allowed this city to get so out of control expensive. I mean, it's always been expensive, whatever. But I feel like now, and I shouldn't say we allowed, like I think because once again, the city moves so fast and we're constantly doing things, a lot of times it's like, wait a minute, that's happening now, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going because you got shit to do. You gotta pay these bills. You gotta get to work. You gotta do this. You gotta take your kid there and here and wherever, So it's like a lot of things I feel to me how we're done in a way where, we weren't really privy to a lot of shit. And so, boom, you find out this, you find out that things are being done behind closed doors, and you're like, what the hell, right? But I feel like it's a new day here in New York. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Like we are experiencing this beautiful new way of just seeing government, seeing politicians, trusting politicians, and just hoping that they'll do right by us. Because it's always that lesser of two evils type of mentality, right? And I feel like we're even getting rid of that type of ideology. And folks are like, no, who is the best? Who's going to actually help us? Not just, vote for the least stale cracker in the I didn't mean to say cracker, but you know what I'm saying, the least stale saltine, whatever the hell you want to call it, in the bunch, and hope for the best. But yeah, we deserve more than voting for the lesser of two evils. And I feel like this election proved just that. It's like I don't have to, deal with, whatever little fool that's deciding to run. I can actually look and see that there's folks who really are looking out for the greater good. What's going on, bro? Anyway, yeah, it's such a beautiful thing for New Yorkers. I'm excited. I'm really excited. And like I said before, the naysayers and the folks that are going to try and demonize him, no, don't give them any attention. But like I said before, the folks that did vote for him, we need to stand on business. We need to support him, and particularly white folks who have voted for him. Because like I said, it's one thing to get in that ballot box and vote, and then just kind of no, we need to stand behind him. Like I said, especially if he's doing right by us, no, we need to show support. We definitely need to show support. Things are looking up, y'all. Things are looking up. And we have been in the trenches for a long ass time. But nothing is forever, right? This crazy way of living and being is coming to an end. I feel it. And we deserve better, and we are getting better. And I am just so happy for that. I really am. All right, guys. I'm getting ready to head into this the physical therapy place, and got to drop off some papers to them. I mean, I'm really happy. And I didn't even mention, y'all, these other races. That's another reason why I'm just so hopeful. These other races, Virginia, California, Jersey, where else was, I think Mississippi. Like, there were so many places where folks showed up and showed out. The Democrats were not playing around. For real. This whole blue tsunami wave, whatever you want to call it, it proved the point. The people are tired of this rigmarole. And we want to live. We want to live, not just constantly stressed out about, oh my gosh, is this going to be a thing? Will I actually have a job? I mean, and to be honest, he screwed himself. Him and the whole Republican Party with all this nonsense with the government shutdown. Particularly when I thought about Virginia. You've got government workers living in Virginia, right? Because that's a part of the DMV area. All these government workers that are there that are probably not working. They've been, basically furloughed, not getting paid, nothing. And you think that these people in good conscience are going to, or even in their right damn mind, given their circumstances, are going to vote for somebody that's a part of the party that is actually screwing them over? How detached from reality are these people? Very. It's crazy. But yeah, things are changing. And I feel like Mamdani's win has shook up this country. People are rooting for him all over this country. Hell, all over the world I've seen. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm so excited. So excited. I'm so excited for the world. I'm excited for our country. 'Cause I know, it, like I said, it just seemed so bleak for the longest, but things are turning around. They definitely are. All right, guys. I said I was leaving. I'm getting out of here, but I love you. Congratulations to all of us. Congratulations to us. And like I always say, let's just keep on keeping on. I love you. And hey, I'll see y'all next week. All right.